One South Africa, my foot.
I think the issue of immigration is an international and a global issue. Now you can respond to it in one of two ways. You can say, how do you integrate citizens who come from other countries, give them legal status, make sure they learn what needs to happen in the country? Because if I want to go live in Germany, I must learn German. I must learn German laws. I must operate the German way. So a dialogue gives us an opportunity to say, what is that way? What is the South African way? But what Dudula is doing is, frankly, in my view, bordering on racism. Because it is going out, identifying people illegally. How does it, what power does Dudula have to verify papers of immigrants? It doesn't. So it goes out, it prescribes who is an immigrant, who's not, and then at the end of the day uses that to scapegoat citizens who come from other countries for government failures. What we should be doing coming out of this is to say, in dealing with the question of immigration, how do we integrate? But more crucially, let us stop ourselves in places where you can have communities that become exclusively about nationalities. You don't want little Lagos, or you don't want little Malawi, yeah, or whatever. You want integration. That's my view on immigration. Because then you can share knowledge and you can be part of this beautiful African continent. The same Dudula would never do that to American citizens, to Russian citizens, to any Asian citizens. They do it to fellow Africans. Why? Immigration is immigration, whether black, white, Indian, or colored. We must deal with immigration. But let's not be selective about picking where you want to pick and choose. Because at the end of the day, if they finish with the immigrants, they are going to come after Tswanas, Zulus, Xhosas, and then we will all as a society be fragmented into federalism of our own tribes.
So, in other words, what Musemaimane of Bosa is saying to people of South Africa, who, by the way, not once in his so-called, I don't know what that is about, he never mentions illegal foreigners. Illegal foreigners. He's speaking about integration. Then he gaslights us about Germany, that if you enter Germany, you need to learn the German language, you need to learn the German culture and the way they do things in Germany. But who goes to Germany illegally? Who enters Germany illegally? You can just see the illogical explanation trying to gaslight South Africans, trying to make South Africans fools. Do you see the people that voted for Boza? No. Musemaimane is not interested in building one South Africa. Because the last time I checked, the moment you use the word South Africa, you are talking about to the people of South Africa. You're not talking about anybody else. You are talking about South Africans. People that are natively of this land called South Africa. So that is why you have South Africa in your so-called Boza. And who are you talking for? Who are you representing? Because clearly you're not representing the people of South Africa. Yes, you were born in Soweto, grew up in Soweto, but guess what? You found your way to the ivory tower, and the moment you climbed it, guess what happened? You detached yourself from the realities of the people in Soweto. I'm not sure if you've been watching the news in the past year or so, where Sowetan children have been unalived by illegal foreigners selling spoiled food. What did you say? What did you say about your community's children that have been unalived? They are 6 feet under. Who knows? One of them could have been the president of Boza, subsequently the president of the Republic of South Africa. But no, let's not think about that. Let's go with the globalist agenda, because South Africa must swallow Pan-Africanism. South Africa must follow globalism. South Africa must follow all your headmasters at the World Economic Forum that tell you guys how to control the people of South Africa. Oh, no. We are putting our foot down and we are saying that is not going to happen. When you integrate, I agree about integration. If you are going to migrate to another man's country. When you migrate, you do so legally. You fill up all the documentation that goes in line with their immigration laws. And then when they come to the country of their choice that they want to migrate to, guess what they have to do when they get there? While they await their legal status, either to be naturalized or for X number of days or years, that they are going to be here through a retirement visa, business visa, or whatever visa, right? And then when you get to that country, it is only wise that you integrate yourself with the community. Learn their languages, learn their culture, respect their languages, respect their culture, learn their way of life, and also respect their way of life. That also includes their rule of law. You are a whole political party leader, aspirant president of the Republic of South Africa. I'm sorry, aspirant president of illegal foreigners in South Africa. That's who you are. And you are not going to force this one down on our throats, Muse Maimane, because this country is ours. You have forgotten. You've forgotten about us. You have forgotten about your own community in Soweto who are suffering. Do you understand how many of your Sowetans that have not gotten medication when they went to their local clinics and they were told that medication is finished, and the following week it was their funeral because they couldn't get the treatment, let alone can afford a pharmacy treatment? And you are coming here gaslighting us about Germany. You gotta be kidding. Whose South Africa are you building? Because it's not the South Africa I live in and millions of other South Africans that are struggling right now. You never mention once illegal foreigners. Instead, you are saying, but y'all talk about our brothers and sisters in the African continent, but you never talk about the Russians that are here illegally, the who and the Asians. And sir, you know them, right? So why aren't you blowing the whistle on them? Let us climb on that bandwagon along with you and say, let them also go. But let me tell you something, Mr. Maimane, in case you have not noticed, I am not condoning them being in South Africa illegally, as you already know that South African citizens are about illegality of people that are coming from elsewhere into our country, whether they're coming from Europe, whether they're coming from Asia, whether they're coming from the Americas, or whether they are coming from Africa itself. Legal is what we are fighting for. Be here legally so that we know who you are. And if you ever commit a crime in our country, we know where to get you and hold you criminally liable through arrest, prosecution, and conviction. That's what we want. But no, you want to climb on the gaslights of the very same illegal foreigners that are in South Africa. They say, but you guys never talk about the 2 million Europeans that are illegally in South Africa. But are they drawing attention to themselves? What do I mean by that, Mr. Maimane? Are those same Asians, Europeans, and whoever else that you mentioned, Russians, at our clinics, flooding our clinics, and at the end of the day, as South African citizens, we don't get the services that we voted for? Are they the ones that are kidnapping our children in our communities, kidnapping women, and either for money rituals, if it's not money rituals, or for human trafficking? Are they also the same people that are hijacking us, and then they call our families asking for ransom? Millions of rands of ransom? Are they the same ones that are sparking our roads with military equipment so that we drive over that, and then when the tires are punctured, of course we can't drive any further, they come with their guns blazing, taking our valuables, including our lives? Are they also the same people, Maimane, that are selling white powder in our communities and killing the future of this country? Are they the same people, Maimane, that are in our townships selling rotten food to our people, as your people? Because they are the ones that paid the brunt for all of this, the children, the future of this country. Are they the ones, Maimane, that sit behind computers And then they steal data from our banks and call us pretending to be bank agents, telling us that, oh, we need to give them this number and that number so that they can fix the situation in our bank accounts. And then if you do, because you are desperate and maybe even fearful that you might lose your money, indeed you lose your money. Are they doing that, my money? Are they drawing that attention to themselves? Because I don't know any of them. Am I saying that there are no criminals amongst them? No, I'm not. Some of them, they're being exposed as being part of the underworld, doing nefarious things to the people of South Africa in one way or the other. But are they on our faces? Are they on our faces like the so-called brothers and sisters? You call them your brothers and sisters, and yet they are busy unaliving your nephews and nieces. No, South Africans must shut up and let's build one South Africa with them inside. You are so far detached with nonsense. Absolute nonsense, Muslimaiman, and anybody that voted for Boza, shame on you. Shame on you, and if you are thinking of voting for this quack, shame on you again. Send them packing, close their doors, and let Mmusi Maimane reintegrate himself with the people of South Africa, because he has forgotten that he's actually a South African, and as a leader, his responsibility is to safeguard our sovereignty, is to safeguard our national security, is to safeguard our rule of law, is to safeguard our constitution, and most definitely patriotic to his own country. But no, he is giving it away in the name of integration. Of whom? People that are illegally in South Africa. We must take that and swallow it, whether we like it or not. When did illegality becomes legal, and that illegality needs to be protected using the state resources? Taxpayers' money, South African people's taxes, they have to defend illegality by our authorities. Make that make sense, my money. Make that make sense. So that means I can commit a crime and then turn around and say, wait, you can't arrest me. I got rights. And then you say, oh, Clantis has a right. Let's not, you are being xenophobic. Even called Dudula racists. Racists? Dudula racist? Fellow South Africans, more than ever, we need to stand behind Operation Dudula. More than ever before. We need to stand for and with Operation Dudula. You can see they are pushing back. They are using their position. Your votes. They are using your votes against you. And more of them are going to be doing so. If you think that they are done with us, no, they are not. That is why I told the offspring of the illegal foreigners in the country to buckle up, because this just began. And us as South African citizens, we cannot just fold our arms and let people we don't know what they are doing here do as they please. And the question I have to ask you, fellow South Africans, Konje, when is the date when we actually are angry? I forgot the date. Somebody please tell me the date. I forgot. When is it that we are actually going to be angry? Please give me the date in the comment section. I kind of forgot when that is, because clearly we are not angry enough. As long as Operation Dudula much, there are still few people on the streets fighting for the rest of us, then we're not angry enough. We are not angry enough. And in a video that I showed you of Ashley B, she talked about the system is afraid of organized citizens. So they are afraid of organized citizens. So let's give it to them. We need to take to the streets, hold hands, and call for the president from the presidential office so that we can have people that are going to serve us. And I still say the best solution is a referendum. 2029 is far away. Why don't we use the 2026 local government elections? We can have both the national elections and local government elections on the same day in 2026 through a referendum where we all vote yes We want to go on an early election in 2026, the same day the local government elections are going to be held. So that means it's going to be an extra ballot paper or 2 extra ballot papers, because we do vote for the National Assembly and we also vote for provincial legislatures. So that is what we're going to have to do, fellow South Africans, to resolve this issue. I mean, we keep saying, oh, the ANC put us through this, oh, the ANC put us through that. Yes, they did. But what are we doing about it? Call a referendum, let's go to early elections, remove these people and the quacks like Mmusi Maimane out of our parliament as well as our political body. They need to go. They're not representing South Africans. Anyways, if you agree with me, please put it in the comment section, and don't forget to smash the like button for me, and also share the video far and wide. Subscribe to the channel, because buckling up needs to be done. We have to talk about this. We also need to push back. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.